Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Surgical Snipes, back at it again with another Diablo Immortal video. What is going on, everyone? What the fuck is going on, y'all? Alright, we are in 2024 already. The first month of 2024, January, is almost to an end, and yeah, we're here now, January 2024. Almost February. What is going on, y'all? This video, from the title of the video, you're pretty much gonna know what I'm gonna be telling you on this. You're pretty much expecting to know what I'm gonna talk about here, and yeah, it's exactly how the video is. As the video is titled. I am the true number one Diablo player in the whole fucking world. That is the truth. And in this game, Diablo Immortal, that means that I am the immortal. I am the immortal of Diablo Immortal, right? I am the true immortal of Diablo Immortal, all right? And I've been saying this for a while now, y'all, ever since the game launched, pretty much. Well, not since the game launched, but like a couple months after the game launched, I realized it was me. And these last couple years since the game's been out, the game came out in 2022, I believe, and now we're in 2024. And yeah, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed as far as me being the number one player, number one Diablo player in the whole world. And I just gotta remind everyone, I gotta remind the whole community, the whole Diablo community needs to be reminded of who their number one player is, who the number one Diablo player in the world is, and I'm more than happy to explain it. Not only am I gonna explain it I'm gonna try and break it down in the most easiest, simplest way possible. You know, um, just bear in mind, keep in mind, please bear with me on when it comes to me explaining things, because I'm not the best explainer. I don't edit my videos. This is all in one take. I don't have no script. None of my videos I make are edited. I just do it all in one take live on Twitch, so bear with me if I, keep rambling on and going a little bit off topic, or not off topic, but just I lose my train of thought, since I'm just doing this all in one take, you know. Anyways, that being said, for those who are new to the channel, yeah, it's exactly how the title of the video is. I'm the number one Diablo player in the world. I'm the number one Diablo player in the world, and the true immortal of Diablo Immortal. And that's it. There goes the explanation. Have a good night, y'all. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm gonna break it down in great detail, well, to the most that I can, as long as my mind allows me to break it down in great detail why it's really me. And Blizzard, if you're watching, hopefully you guys are watching this. I doubt Blizzard will ever see this video. But if we can get people to understand that I'm telling the truth, that would help out, and maybe Blizzard will actually, send a call or email my way, because it's really me, y'all. It's really me. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have been doing this for all this time. I take my breaks here and there from the game, but I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't feel and believe that 100% with all my being that I am that person, you know. And I know just because you believe in something doesn't make it true, right? Just because you believe in something doesn't make it true. And that's why over these years, since 2022, I've been uploading matches after matches of PvP matches of Battlegrounds in this game to showcase that it's really me, to showcase my skills and to prove without a doubt that I am exactly who I say I am when I say I'm the number one Diablo player in the world. That's why I make these videos. That's why I even sing songs about it. If you guys ever hear my songs about me being the number one Diablo player. Because it's true. It's the truth. If you look at my playlists on Diablo and all that, everything that I've made, all the matches I've played, and if you actually see what it is that I'm going into the battlegrounds with in the PvP of this game, then you too will believe without a doubt that I am exactly that person. Now, why does that matter? It doesn't matter, right? In the grand scheme of things of life and all that doesn't matter, right? This is just for shits and giggles, right? In the nerd universe, in the nerd world of gaming, you know, and especially in the Diablo community, that's where anybody would even be interested in it, you know. People should know at least who the number one player is of the game that they're all interested in playing, you know. So in this case, it's Diablo, right? Diablo Immortal. But I'm not just saying I'm the number one Diablo Immortal player in the world. I'm saying I'm the number one Diablo player in the world. All right. Now, before I even explain how I got to this whole conclusion, this self-proclaimed conclusion that it's me. Well, first of all, if you just simply search, if you simply Google search number one Diablo player, right? If you go on Google, you go on the search bar, you type in number one Diablo player, right? That's hashtag one space Diablo space player. You're gonna get me. You know what I'm saying? So if you Google search, if you just Google search number one Diablo player, you're gonna get my videos. Or you can go the long version of Google searching who is the number one Diablo player in the world, right? If you Google search who is the number one Diablo player in the world, you're gonna get me, right? And all my critics and haters or whatever you call them, aka my number one fans, my haters, aka my number one fans, they're just gonna talk hella horse shit, you know, and that's fine, you know. If they want to just talk horse shit about it, you know, let them talk horse shit about it, you know. It is what it is. That's their life's purpose, you know, because they know it's me. They know it's me, and nothing they can say is gonna change that, you know. I'm talking from my heart here. I wouldn't lie about this kind of shit, you know. I don't want to be known as a liar, and I wouldn't have been doing all this shit, you know, self-promoting, claiming to be the number one Diablo player in the world if I didn't believe that it was true 100%. All right, so besides the fact that you can Google search number one Diablo player and it's me, or Google search who is the number one Diablo player in the world, besides that, right, even if Google didn't even say that I'm the number one Diablo player, even if I didn't get that part, right, even if I didn't get to that part of this of Google saying that with or without it, I'm still that person. I'm still that person because of what I have been able to do in this game. Okay, in Diablo Immortal, it's pay to win, right? And I don't want to go into a whole explanation of how the game is and all that. If you're a Diablo Immortal player, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know, the general gist is the general gist of the game is, you know, the players have to get these gems, right? These legendary gems, ranked 1-star gems, 2-star gems, and 5-star gems, right? The legendary gems. You use those gems to power up your character to be able to compete in either to clear the PvE portion of the game or to compete in PvP, the PvP portion of the game. Okay, and I don't want to go into crazy details with that. Pretty much, if you use 5-star gems, you're gonna be stronger than the players that only use 1 and 2-star gems. Okay, so I'm one of those players that use 1 and 2-star gems, and I'm going up against pretty much almost everyone uses 5-star gems to clear their content, because the game is designed for you to go for the 5-star gems. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is with that. So all my content that I've made, all my matches in the battlegrounds and in the PvP of this game, whether it was either battlegrounds or Conqueror, the limited time PvP event called Conqueror that they had a couple times already, and even now they even had the Wild Brawl a couple times also. So I've had success in all those PvP game modes, way more than I should have for what I had equipped. Right, I only had 1 and 2 star gems equipped. So what does that mean? That means that I was fighting players who had 5-star gems while I was only running 1 and 2 star gems. Okay, so it's a big difference there, right? And what was I able to do with all that? With only 1 and 2 star gems, I was able to get number 1 in all classes. In the leaderboards, I got number 1 in all classes in legendary rank. It doesn't matter if you get number 1 in the beginning of the season in bronze or silver rank. The highest PvP rank in the game is legendary. So if you can get number 1 in the leaderboards with the highest rank, which is legendary in this game, then you pretty much are on the right track of understanding what I'm talking about here. So that's what it is, y'all. You know, I got number 1 in all classes. Now, did I class change? I play as a demon hunter, right? That's my main class. I freaking got number 1 in all classes. I put the work in as a demon hunter, and then I class changed just to get the number 1 of the new class that I got number 1 in. Now, is that considered really being the number 1 in the other class? Well, technically, no. You're right. It's not, because I didn't put the work in for that class. For example, if I'm a demon hunter and then I class change to become a necromancer or something like that, or a wizard, I didn't put the work in as a wizard or a necromancer. I just simply class changed after getting more points than the current number 1 player of that class, and it is what it is. I get to keep my points, and I was able to get number 1 and pass the person who was number 1 in their class. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Could I have done it? Could I have done it if the game was fair? If the game wasn't pay to win, then I could have easily have done it also with whatever class. Because if the game was 100% fair, man, it'd be GG every time. It'd be so freaking easy for me, right? I've never been in a fair match in this game. Nobody has, because it's not a 100% fair same stats type of game. It's a pay to win gotcha game pretty much, and we all know what kind of games those are. So, and even when we had that limited time PvP event called Conqueror, it showed up like 3 times already, I believe, or maybe 4 times by now. I think it's only showed up 3 times. I have 3 Conqueror PvP playlists that show exactly what I'm capable of doing, how I'm able to dominate the game when the game is somewhat fair. And make no mistake about it, that Conqueror PvP mode wasn't even 100% fair for me. Why? Because you still had 1 and 2 star gem players at max rank 10 fighting 5-star gem players at max rank 10 also. So the 5-star gem players still had the advantage. But I was still able to get most kills in plenty of matches. And yeah, so I was still able to dominate regardless. So if you guys ever want to see my leaderboards and all that, where I got number 1 in all classes in the battlegrounds, it's there on my Instagram, Surgical Snipes. It's my name, and you will see all the leaderboards there, right? But my critics might say, oh, well, you just class changed once you got more points than the other guy. and that doesn't necessarily count. And I've been saying for a while now that if me class changing isn't legit to get the number one spot by just climbing the ranks as a demon hunter, and then class changing to a necromancer, for example, or a wizard or a monk or something, or a barb. Once I knew I had more points than the other guy, then if that's not legit, because I agree, it's not really 100% legit if you didn't do it in that class. But if that's not legit, then players who run 5-star gems aren't legit either, right? Because they're gonna have the higher chances of getting number one or top 10 in their class based on the resonance of their high resonance and the high levels of their 5-star gems. See, so which one's more legit? You see, the 1 and 2-star gem player that grinded and still got the points and just class changed, or the 5-star gem player who has double or triple the resonance than everybody else, and he's just one-shotting everybody. So you guys be the judge on that. Now, what else separates me from the rest of the Diablo Immortal community when it comes to PvP? Well, if you guys actually do some research on all this shit, when you guys look at how I play the game, if you guys haven't already, look around on YouTube, search, look at any other player, look for a player that does it exactly how I did it or even better, and you will see that there's nobody that does that. Nobody has done what I've done in this game when it comes to multiple matches of getting MVP in the battlegrounds, most kills a lot of times, versus players double, triple my resonance, triple plus my resonance, and against players like that, it's just my 1 and 2-star gems versus their 5-star gems, And when players like to talk shit, all I gotta do is reference them. Hey, what are you running? What do you have equipped? Are you running 5-star gems? Okay, you're running 5-star gem training wheels. That's what I like to say. People like to think I troll a lot on World Chat and all that by calling it everybody who uses 5-star gems 5-star gem training wheel players. But that's only if they try to talk horse shit about my accomplishments in the game, right? Nobody plays the game how I play the game, and that's a fact. 99% or 90% of the majority of the game's population equips 5-star gems. They equip 5-star gems because that's what the game is that's what it's designed. The game is designed to give you that shit. You're supposed to play the game with 5-star gems. That's what Blizzard pushes on everybody, and it is what it is. That's considered the normal way of playing the game, right? But if you just play the game like that, then you're not really going to be able to prove that you're this excellent player or this top tier, top 10 player or whatever. That's not how it works, because anybody can just do that. You see what I'm saying? Well, not everybody can just become a whale and spend thousands on the game either. You see? So it's a pay-to-win game. The whales dominate the servers pretty much. Right? You got the whales and the dolphins. If you don't know what that is, the whales are the high spenders of the game. The dolphins are the medium spenders in the game, the mid spenders. Then you got the low spenders and the free to play. Now am I free to play? No, I'm not free to play. I'm a low spender, or I was a low spender in this game, because when the game first started, nobody knew what the hell was going on. Right? We were just pushed to get those 5-star gems. But once I realized that, I'm just gonna play with 1 and 2-star gems and see what happens, I realized that maybe I should go for this. Maybe I should attempt to prove to everyone that not only am I a great player at the game, in the PvP of Diablo Immortal, but hey, nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is uploading videos of just 1 and 2-star gems dominating matches, dominating battleground matches. So it's there, it's all there. It's not in HD, it's not in 60 FPS or anything like that, or 1080p graphics. I have an outdated phone. I'm using an outdated phone, so I can't stream in 60 FPS. or I can't stream with the 1080p graphics or whatever it's called. I'm not really a tech guy and all that, so I wouldn't know anything about that shit. I don't have a PC. I don't have any of that shit. So it is what it is. But I do have that one of a kind Diablo PvP talent. And that's what it is. So at least I got that. And I'm happy with it. Eventually I'll get my shit together and start buying better gear. At least the fucking better equipment, at least the fucking PC and shit, so I can actually start editing my videos and streaming the games that I want to play in HD, just like a normal fucking YouTuber or a normal streamer on Twitch. We'll get to that point eventually. It hasn't happened yet, but eventually, once I put my mind to it and I start working towards all that, I will start getting all that shit. So I can make my content and my channels more professional and all that. On my YouTube here and on Twitch and all that. So it is what it is, y'all. So anyways, what else can I talk about here on this? On the whole subject of me being the #1 Diablo player in the world, and the true immortal of Diablo Immortal. It's not that hard to figure out that it's me. Like to my haters, aka my #1 fans, they're just gonna hate. They're just gonna hate and just talk whatever kind of horse shit they're gonna do just to try and discredit me from what I'm saying. Because they're either jealous or they're envious or they just straight up just don't give a shit and they just want to pretend to try and pick on me or something, which is stupid. That's the best they can do in their life is just hate on somebody else's success, and it's not even a big success for me, right? Because not even 1 or 2% of the population of the Diablo community, not just in Diablo Immortal, but the whole Diablo community of all the games combined, they don't even know I exist even. You see? And maybe they'll never know I exist. Maybe they'll never know I exist. It is what it is, because I have to get a PC, make better content, search algorithms and all that shit until one of my videos become viral and then people start talking and people start understanding, hey, this is the guy. And why do I put a big emphasis on all this? But besides the fact that I wanted to share my story and my love for Diablo Immortal, it's just to let everyone know, people should know who the best of the best is in whatever game they're playing. It's just for reference. That way they can go and say, hey, they can go and review the person's claims, and then if it's true, great. If it's not true, okay, this guy's just another freaking scammer or something or liar. And I wanted to prove it. I wanted to prove it. I sang songs about it. I made countless videos of my battleground matches and my Conqueror matches and my Wild Brawl matches. My Wild Brawl matches, these are the PvP modes of the game, for those who don't know, that are available. Yeah, I know I did it. I know I'm the guy. No 5-star gem player. No 5-star gem player no Diablo Immortal player that equips 5-star gems will understand. Well, can no 5-star gem player can argue with what I'm saying. I mean, they could if they want to. They can make videos trying to underscore or discredit my claims. But if you actually put 2 and 2 together on how I play the game, what I'm equipping, what I'm going into the battlegrounds with, or whatever PvP game mode that I was playing, whether it was Battlegrounds or Conqueror or Wild Brawl, you will see that I am exactly that person. That nobody else has come close to what I have done in this shit. And that's why I'm talking like this. That's why I make videos about this. That's why I've been doing this for a while. So I've been saying this. I sing songs about it, and who else would do that shit? Who else would do that kind of shit if they really didn't believe it was 100% true? Now you can not believe me. You have all the right to not believe me, right? Everybody's skeptical in the beginning when somebody makes this wild claim. But if you actually want to know the truth, watch how I play the game, watch my playlist, my Conqueror playlist, my bunch of Battleground matches that I have. Most of it is categorized in my playlist of Diablo Immortal, but there's a bunch that's just not in the playlist, and you just have to scroll down and keep looking. In the over 1,000, I think I have over 1,100 videos, which isn't all Diablo Immortal either. It's other games where I have a bunch of different types of games that I play from the past. So it's not just Diablo, but anybody with two and two that can put two and two together and realize that it's me, then hey, you figured it out. You figured it out that it's me. No 5-star gem player can argue that. Why? Because they're using 5-star gems to play the game. I never had to use 5-star gems to play the game to get number one in my to get number one in my class or any of the other classes, to get most kills and MVPs and all that shit. Right? When it comes to competition and shit, like if I can actually do damage to the person, to the other player, then it's GG pretty much for them. Even if they can one-shot me, right? I've freaking been able to outplay against people, against players who are double, triple my resonance, for crying out loud. They can easily just push one button. I'm supposed to be dead, But because of my understanding of how the game works, and because I'm just that much faster than everybody else, not to brag and boast, right? But this is how I have to explain it, I can't give you guys a sugar-coated version of an edited version. I'm just doing this all in one shot, in one take. Now, why do I say number one Diablo player in the world and not just number one Diablo Immortal player, right? I've only played Diablo Immortal. I didn't play Diablo 1. I didn't play Diablo 2, 3, or 4 now. I haven't played any of those. I've only played Diablo Immortal. So wouldn't it make sense for me just to say that I'm the number one Diablo Immortal player in the world, and not for all the games? One could say it like that, but if you think about it, Diablo Immortal is the pay-to-win version of Diablo, right? Diablo 1, 2, and 3, and 4 aren't pay-to-win, right? Supposedly. This is the actual first pay-to-win Diablo game out there. You see? So if I'm able to do all this shit with such a disadvantage, with such a huge disadvantage, what do you think I would do in any other Diablo game that's 100% fair, right? And Diablo games aren't even known to be fair anyway, right? Last I checked from Diablo 4, the PvP there is PvP zones, and people can group up in a party of 4 or 5 or whatever, and you could fight one person that's solo, and that's not real competition. That's not real competition. Diablo 4 has yet to have a team arena type, an arena type PvP like the 8-on-8, the 8-on-8 battles that we have in the battlegrounds. The 8-on-8 teams. The big team battles. So, and Diablo 3, I think they did have PvP. I think it was 2-on-2 or something. But anyways, and maybe that was fair. But Diablo Immortal is the pay-to-win versions of Diablo. So if I was able to get number one in all classes, no matter how I did it, and not just because I class changed, but because of me being the deciding factor if we win or lose. If my team wins or loses, me being the deciding factor. Almost as long as I'm able to do damage to the players, I'm the deciding factor. So people might argue, people can say what they want, but what are you arguing here? If you're a 5-star gem player that's playing Diablo Immortal, if you're a whale, if you're a dolphin player that's doing all their shit, running the whole server and shit or whatever, with your top 10 dark clans or your 3 top immortal clans or whatever, or you all rule the leaderboards and shit, you're not doing anything more than what I did. You're not proving anything. No matter how much you spend into the game, you're not going to be proving that you're a better Diablo player than I am, because in order to prove that you're an actual better player than me in the game, you're gonna have to play the game either how I play the game, with only 1 and 2 star gems equipped, or that's it, or you can actually try and do what I do in the game with even lesser stats, right? With only 1 star gems, or with less resonance than what I did, or less gear ranks or whatever. You see? So technically, there's no way you can actually prove that you're a better Diablo player than me, if you're a whale, if you're a dolphin, because you're just using 5 star gems to play the game to get your kills and run the servers and shit or whatever. You see? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I did it the hard way. I did it the fucking most difficult way, pretty much. Well, it's not the most difficult way, because I did awaken a couple of my gear pieces, right? I did awaken 3 of my 1 star gems. So did I feel like I needed to do that? I felt like I needed to do that. Everybody is running 5 star gems, double, triple my resonance. So what am I gonna do? The least I can do is at least awaken my 1 star gems. I mean, shit, shit. I'm fighting people 2, 3 times my fucking resonance, man. The least I can do is awaken my 1 star gems, and that's why I'm not in the category of pay to win. I mean, I'm not in the category of free to play. You see? All you got to do is watch how I play the game. Watch how I play the game, and you will see that it's me. No other. Go look it up. Go search for people that play with 1 and 2 star gems only, and are able to dominate the battlefield or the battlegrounds or whatever as many times as I have. With #1 leaderboards in all classes already. In the battlegrounds, #1 in 5 classes of Wild Brawl. And whatever I did in Conqueror PvP in my 3 Conqueror playlists is just insane. And that's it, that's what it is. I proved it, and I'm just sending the word out. Because you got to understand this, guys. You got to understand that if you're running 5 star gems, you are not on my level. You're nowhere near my level of skill, of true skill in this game, right? And I'm not saying that to brag and boast about it, but it is what it is. If you have the nerve to talk shit about my skills as a Diablo player, when you have to run 5 star gems to play the game, if you have to run 5 star gem training wheels to play the game, then you are nowhere near my level of skill in this game. Nowhere near it, right? If you're a whale, you're going to get used to just either one-shotting everyone. If you're a whale player, right, who spends thousands in the game and are in a whale clan or whatever, or just a whale player in general, you're just used to one-shotting everyone that's lesser resonance than you, who has lesser resonance than you, who has lower resonance than you, or you're just fighting other whales who are at the same resonance as you, and it's an even fight between y'all, between the whale wars, right? Between the whales, they're having whale wars and shit. And even that's not fair still 100%, right? Because there's always going to be that one whale that has way more shit than the other whales, right? There's always a bigger whale for the most part. You see? I would rule all the servers if the game was 100% fair, same stats. Since I'm the #1 player of the game, that's the truth. I would rule all the servers as the true Immortal, as the actual Immortal of the game. I would rule all the servers, right? I would have my 3 Immortal clans. All top 10 Dark clans would be allied towards me. And then if they ever, when the Shadow buff gets so high and shit, and a Shadow clan is able to beat my Golden Statue Immortal thing in the Challenge of the Immortal, then guess what would happen? One of those Dark clans that became the Immortal would just be allied with me anyway, and I'm still gonna be the Immortal anyway of all that. You see how that works? The only way I don't stay as the Immortal is if everybody in the server's against me. Well, the numbers ain't gonna lie, and then I wouldn't be able to do anything about it in that at that point, obviously. But you know what I'm saying, guys? Like nobody should be pissed about the pay to win horseshit that this game has shown us more than me. Nobody should be more pissed off. Believe me, there's so many people who had high hopes for this game, but when they realized it was pay to win, they freaking hightailed it right away. Because nobody wants to go through that shit. Nobody wants to get one-shotted because the other player spent more than him, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You know, it doesn't show any true skill. All it shows is who has the bigger wallet, and it should never have come down to that. You know, it's terrible for both parties involved, right? It's terrible because you're on one side, you got the whales. They're one-shotting everyone. For one, they're not getting any freaking challenge, you know, and for two, they're building a false sense of confidence that they're actually good at the game when they don't even know if they're good at the game or not. That's not how you prove you're good at that shit, you know. That's not how you prove it. But then again, you can't blame the whales for that because the game is pay to win, right? The game is pay to win horseshit. So Blizzard allowed this to happen, so that's why it is what it is. And the whales just rule it all because they're the ones that can spend thousands into the game, whereas the free to play or low spenders can't, or they won't, or they don't want to do that. So then on the other side, you have the free to play and the low spenders that the free to play can grind to a certain amount of residents. I think they can grind up to 2,000 residents or something like that. I forgot. It's been a while since I even kept up to date with this shit. But you know, there's a limit to that, right? There's a limit to that. You can't freaking grind any more residents after that. You see? So there's still not it's still not an actual competition. So plus the fact that who's been playing the game since launch is way more ahead than everybody else, because that's how the game is. It's just all bullshit. It's just designed. It's an uneven PvP matchmaking system. It's just a terrible idea, you know. I mean, it's a great idea for Blizzard when it's a great idea for them because they're the ones making millions of dollars off it, and it's just shit for everyone else that doesn't participate in that shit. For everyone who wants to have a good PvP experience and fair and competitive one, this isn't it. Pay to win games aren't that, right? You're always going to fall victim and get one shotted to the whales and the dolphins who spent hundreds or thousands more than you did in the game to advance their character stats. So like if I was to go in right now into the battlegrounds, if I was to go in there right now, you know, I'll be behind like 50 levels or 40 levels behind Paragon. So I'll have the disadvantage already in the stats department. But even if I was at server Paragon, it would help. But people would double, triple, quadruple my residents and shit. They're gonna easily one-shot me. You see? So that's what it is with all that, you know. It's terrible on both sides because the free-to-play and the low spenders are either gonna lose interest or they won't even participate in PvP in PvP events or PvP matches, you know, PvP modes of this game, because nobody wants to go through that bullshit. You know, they'll just play PvE and just have whales carry them in raids and shit, which is it's complete retarded shit. You know, it's complete horse shit. You know, like you think a fucking player's gonna carry me in a fucking raid or in a challenge rift if it was actually a fair fight, an actual fair match, an actual fair game? No. And it's fucking boring when you have to just depend on whales and dolphins to carry you in a fucking raid. It's stupid. It's so boring, you know. Alright, the challenge rifts are a joke also. So anyways, I'm going on and on with this shit, I know, but I don't know I don't know how else to explain it, you know. I don't know how else to prove my point. You know, I cannot prove my point more than what I already have, right? I cannot prove my point of being the #1 Diablo player in the world and true immortal of Diablo Immortal, the actual immortal, the immortal, I can't prove that point more than what I already have. I can't prove my point more than what I already have. If you guys watch the videos, if you guys watch my matches, you'll easily see that it's me. I show my stats. I show every time before every match, I show my stats. That way you guys know what I'm going into the battlegrounds with. And then at the end of the match, I show the stats of the top 3 players on the opposing team and see how much resonance they have and what they're equipping. And guess what? They're all running 5-star gems. You see? So there's no argument here. Nobody has done what I have done. Nobody cares enough to even attempt to do what I did. Nobody wants to play the game without 5-star gems equipped. Nobody wants to play with only 1 and 2-star gems equipped. I haven't even used the training charm. I call it a training charm. The charms, I don't even use that, you know. I did use the charms when the game first came out, you know, but when I realized I didn't need that, I don't even use a charm in the game. Right? So not only do I not use 5-star gem training wheels, I don't even use training charms either. You see? So that just adds to my point. Right? If you need to run 5-star gem training wheels and charms to play the game, guess what? We are not the same type of Diablo player now, are we? You see? And if you think, if you're well and shit and you're just one-shotting everyone and there's no competition, or you're just fighting other wells, if you're just fighting other players who are wells also, competing with them, you know, that's not real competition, man. Well, you guys are competing to see who spent the most in the game, but that's not the actual shit. Again, though, it's not the well's fault, right? It's not the well's fault why it is the way it is. They're just doing what the game allows them to do. And that's on Blizzard, right? That's on Blizzard. That's on Blizzard, you know. Me shitting on everyone in fair matches, in fair 100% same stats matches, doesn't give Blizzard a dime. You see? Which one's the better business model for them? Make the game pay to win? Make the game pay to win horseshit so the Whales and Dolphins can run it all and spend their thousands on the game? Or just make the game fair and then not get the millions of dollars in profit and just let the players who are actually the ones who are actually good at the game run it? No, they're going to go with the people with the money, because that's how it all works, I guess, in these gacha games. You see? So like I said before, earlier in this video, no one should be more pissed off about the game being pay to win more than me, because I'm the fucking immortal. I'm the immortal of Diablo Immortal. I'm the #1 Diablo player in the world, so obviously no one is going to get more pissed off at me. Nobody's going to be more pissed off than me, because if the game wasn't pay to win, I'd rule it all. Pretty much, you know, technically. All the servers. I'm not kidding. I'm not lying. Watch how I play the game, and you will see that that's exactly what it is. It's not a joke. I'm not doing this for clout chasing or being an attention seeker. I'm just trying to let everyone know, hey, there is an actual #1 Diablo player in the world, and his name is Surgical Snipes. And that's it, you know. You can take it or leave it. You can take it with a grain of salt. At least I got the message out there, you know, for what it's worth. You know, Blizzard, you know, if you have some morality here and shit, you know, at least send me a message, you know, so we can talk about shit, because I'm the game. I'm your franchise's #1 player. And do I get pissed off about the shit not being 100% fair and same stats and shit? Of course I am, because I can't show the true extent of my limits of what I can actually do with if the game was fair, right? Everything I've done in this game is when I'm at a disadvantage. You see? So can you imagine if the game was fair? If I could do all this shit already when the game's not fair, imagine what I could do if the game was 100% fair for everyone. You think my gameplay would be the same if I can already do all this shit already? And besides, I can't be just playing this shit all the time anyway because they're adding layers upon layers of pay to win now, right? They're adding all this extra shit now, and it's just gonna be that's all that's gonna happen from here on out. They're just gonna keep adding, they're just gonna keep adding layers upon layers of pay to win to the point where it's just the whales and dolphins only, pretty much. You see how that works? So no, I can't do that. I can't buy into that horse shit. It's ridiculous. You know, give the accolades and the rewards and the actual leaderboards and shit to the people who actually deserve it. Don't make it a fucking leaderboard where it's just, oh, this means this guy paid the most money. That's why he's on the leaderboard. That's why he's in the top 10 or whatever. It's just retarded. It's so fucking stupid. It goes against all the fucking morality things of what PvP is supposed to be. You see? Of competition. If a player can actually, you know, have better mechanics and outplay me in shit in these matches, then I'll give it to him. I'll say, hey, you know what? You're the better player that match. But to be in these rigged matches where everybody's fucking, there's like one whale or a couple whales on one team and the other team doesn't even have any, or if I fight a whale and I just get one shot in, man, come on, that's bullshit, man. Right? And they're gonna laugh about it. They're gonna talk shit, but at the end of the day, they know who the real number one player is, and they can't do they can't say shit about it because they're not proving anything by one-shotting people. And like I said, it's not their fault. And I can keep rambling on and on and on about all this shit, and I don't want to. It is what it is. I've been pissed off about it since launch, and me rambling and ranting about all this isn't gonna solve it. It's not gonna change anything. So that's what it is. This is just me expressing how I feel about all that. And like I said, why should anybody give a shit about what I have to say about the horseshit that I say? Well, because I'm the actual fucking number one Diablo player in the world. That's why.